Hello, beautiful people and fellow whiners, and welcome to another episode of A Little Something, the number 2, because it's 2 of us, Wine About with your hosts, Siobhan Camille
and Ty Michelle,
where sips get real and we wine as we whine about life, relationships, and so much more, because sometimes you just need to whine a little. It is third Wednesday in this here September, and it is Wine with the Guys. So y'all know we automatically bring a guy to the table. So we have nobody new, it's Mr. B. Cox back with us. Now married B. Cox, he was engaged last time. And we're gonna talk to him about what makes wifey material. So grab a glass of your favorite red, white, rosé, sparkling cider, good old Pinot Agua, and join us on the couch. I don't know what Michelle is saying.
I was trying to do like a sign language, whining with the guys. So I was like, whining with the guys.
That's interesting.
It's a new one.
That's a new one, right?
That's why it started. Like, I was like, I don't like that. Oh, that looks like a G, kind of. Yeah, I see it.
That looks like an orangutan. Well, you ever seen the orangutan? I didn't know what this was. I'm like, what monkey gang sign is supposed to be? What?
Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
We'll accept it for now, because we work.
I mean, take it to the drawing board and work on it.
I want to do like. I don't know. Hey y'all. Y'all know I be trying to concentrate and it just don't be working out right sometimes. So y'all should be used to it by now. Okay, y'all know I'm gonna give you something before we start. So before we get into this wonderful hit topic of will you be my wifey material, we're gonna talk about these here.
I wasn't ready.
Common grapes experience. Y'all know it's September, so we are having a white September. Yeah. So what white wine popping grapes experience are you having? Because I see this here bottle and it looks chic, like the label.
Well, before I get into my popping grapes, let's introduce Mr. B. Cox. Just say hello again.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's so new. He's so not new. I was like, wait, okay, we know you, but go
ahead. Yeah. Hey, everybody. B. Cox, creator, host, producer of All Classic Music Reviews podcast. We review classic hip hop, R&B, and reggae albums from the 90s and 2000s. Particularly the early 2000s, and we see if they still stand the test of time. Also co-host and producer of the Raw Sex podcast with Dominique Marks, aka Cousin Damo. Vault every Monday, Raw Sex every Friday. Make sure y'all check that out wherever y'all get podcasts. You can catch the Vault at vaultclassicpod.com.
See, that's in your line. You got your Monday over there, let's talk music. Then you got your Wednesday, come on with us. Then on your Friday, go talk some sex. See what I'm we here for your week.
Get through the week.
To be fair, though, Raw Sex is not just all about sex. We talk about, we talk, substantive relationship topics. We talk interrelationships between men and women, both platonic and potentially romantic. And we also talk about issues that men face, because we both 2 men, late 30s, well, shoot, 40 now for me. So we talk about the issue that guys
still
go
late
through,
30s.
No, not for me, it isn't. That train left the station already, so.
No, but so the fact that what kills me is while he's running down his list of things, he's thinking about it. You look at his face and he's like,
I mean, that's a lot going on, so.
I was like, that's a lot. That doesn't give me hope though, because I feel like we should have it down. So when I see a vet go, let me think, I'll be like, oh shoot, if he doing this, I don't stand no chance of remembering nothing.
But that's how you know it's real, it's organic.
It's right. Right. I'm like, oh well, look, y'all just gonna get me fumbling over stuff. But here we go.
So this wine this week, my popping grapes is an Albariño. I've only had one of them, and it was one of the ones from the Royal Rabbits was an Albariño, but I don't remember which one, and I didn't want to look it up to taint my image and go in with a preconceived notion.
Clean slate.
Right. So this is an Albariño from España, de Spain, by Martin Codax. I know nothing. So we will see what happens.
It's enough. Okay, I was say because yep, you lost me at the name, but I was like, you ghostless.
We'll see what happens.
I was definitely like, you ghostless. So I have a Pinot Gris, not Gio. Bars. And it's from Boordy Vineyards. It's a Maryland vineyard. It's a Maryland wine. It's a 2018 Pinot Gris. So I am long green pipe, Maryland. I don't even know what that is.
Oh, in Maryland?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Somewhere in the middle of nowhere where they
make wine. That's what
in the boonies. In the sticks.
It would have to be. You need
right.
Yeah. So I got it because I got this because honestly I was going to do the brand that I had last week and I was going to do another Riesling, but I was like, no, I'm not going to Riesling y'all out. Let's go for a Pinot Gris. I was actually looking for a Shiraz or Gewürztraminer.
I thought Shiraz is red.
No, I thought it was white.
Pretty sure Shiraz is red.
Well, if it's red, then that's why I didn't find it.
All right, Lord.
I mean, duh, ding. But that's what I went in there for, and like full transparency, that's what I went in there for. But then I was like, oh no, they got a Pinot Gris. Let's do the Pinot Gris, not Gio. Okay.
So about this wifey material, Mr. B. Cox. Because we about to hit cuffing season. We hit cuffing seasons here. My Eric Bellinger. So just let's just start with a general. What makes a woman, and I realize that this is gonna vary. Are you inspecting the cork? Did you pop another cork?
Yeah.
She held the cork. Okay. She-Hulk has struck again. So what said what makes a woman wife material?
What makes a woman wife material? And this is such a canned answer, but it's a real one. It depends on the man.
Well, yeah, we got that.
Yeah, it really depends on the man. Because let me put it to you this way. One man may see something that he sees in a woman and will say, oh, that's wifey type material right there because of whatever things she may does or how she looks or, you know, her persona, the way that she carries herself, like so many different other things. And another man will look and be like, yeah, that's seems like a good time, but that's just it, So it really is in the eye of the beholder. Now, what I will say is that when you're talking about a woman that's wifey material, the universal thing is the feeling, okay? Because really, when it comes down to wifey material, looks don't really, as contrary to prior belief, does it have something to do with it? Yeah, I mean, that's like the first part of the driving test. Can you see? Yes. Okay, let's move to step number 2. I mean, that has to be a part of it though, right? Because if you can't see, then you can't pass the driver test. So am I attracted to you? Yes. Okay, next question. Then you move on to the other things. And that's when we start getting into the other layers. I think I was talking about this when I was on with Damo. We had Riri from the New Normal podcast on with us. And I started talking about when you start peeling back those layers of those onions. How far back are you willing to go before you stop and be like, either all right, you know what? I'm good off this and I'm gonna set this down, or I'm gonna keep going and be like, all right, I'm good. I've seen all I need to see. Yeah, absolutely. So when you start peeling back those layers of that onion, at what point are you getting to the point where it's like, okay, you're starting to become more of a believer, or are you like, nah, son, this ain't working. I don't want this. Whatever this is, I don't want it. So it really is.
Can it be an onion? Can it be a parfait?
Sure.
Why a parfait?
Why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what they said on show.
I mean, is how far do you go before you're like, okay, I'm good on this? You know what I'm saying? And it was just a pretty face, and she does these couple of things or a couple of things I like about her, but the more I'm around her, the more that I know about her, I don't like her as much as I thought I did. Then it's like, oh, well, you'll see someone and be attracted to them. And the more you know about them, the more you get into them. And I guess is a part we could say, the more that you fall for her, dare I say, in some instances, you fall in love with her, that's when you're like, okay, yeah, that's wifey material. Now, another universal thing, you can't really consider nobody wifey unless you, for real, unless you're in love with her. I mean, that
I don't know.
It's, but see, when we're talking about truly being wifey, because a lot of people use that word, right? We use that word way too loosely in our culture. We talk a lot about, oh, that's wifey right there. I don't think the one person I use that word with is the actual woman I'm married to. And any other woman that I met was like, nah.
To you, because I know
because you don't give that title to everybody. People need to understand that. And that's one thing I think with guys, that you have to do a better job of you figuring out what's wifey and what's not. What makes her wifey? Oh, okay. Well, for some guys, it's just like, yeah, bam, physical, check all the marks. Bam, she does this, whatever it is, she cooks, you know, I get to use her car every Wednesday night. You know, we in the bedroom, she do these little things that I like, you know, and she does it all the time. I don't gotta ask for it. And some dudes, it'll stop right there. Bam, that's wifey. And I'm just sitting there like, damn, y'all are so literally impressed. That's it. That's all it takes. Like that.
I think
that's
a lot
all
of
it
dudes
takes.
also just use wifey because they know so many women get geeked off hearing that. Oh, he called me wifey. Oh, I'm wifey. But I'm not that chick. But I feel like because to your point of it depends on the dude, right? Like I feel like there are dudes who they wifey hoes. Everybody's a wifey. And there are others who are like, man, I'm gonna just call her wifey because she won't hear that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's just it's interesting to me because I've been hearing a lot of chatter. Well, not recently, but like earlier this year, I heard a lot of chatter about men, right? And talking about, you know, basically women after a certain age and weight class need to like lower their standards and all that stuff. And then I also heard all these dudes talking about how, oh, you not wife. No, basically, if no dude married you by 30, then like jump off a bridge and kill yourself. Or lower your standards to like the depths of the ocean. But the crazy part was a lot of these same dudes would say, oh, I met a girl though, she was cool. There really wasn't anything wrong with her. I just wasn't ready to get married. And I'm like,
yeah.
So if you're not ready to get married at however old you were, her age didn't stop. So she wasted time with you. So you're going to then turn around and tell this woman 3 years later, now she's 33, because she wasted time with you, that she should just drop her standards. But there, to your own admittance, there was nothing wrong with her. You just weren't ready to get married, which is valid, because all women aren't ready to get married. Let's be clear. So
I think that's something that needs to be talked about more too. But we can go.
But that's my other thing, I guess. I just hear a lot of guys shame women who are 30 plus and unmarried, but then these same dudes will turn around and talk about either the one that got away or the one that they couldn't marry, but there was really nothing wrong with her. They just weren't in the right space.
Right.
I mean, and I think all of those things are valid, you know, because like we said, as women, society will tell us, oh, as a woman, you know, when you become grown, instantly you have magically become ready for marriage. That's not true. So
As
that's
someone who has turned down 2 proposals.
As someone who is married, I'm still going to I will tell you that's not true. But outside, I think so. I think that's a whole another wine for another time, and we can
It is.
really touch that. But like for real, but for men, I'll just speak to my experience because that's what I can speak to. I heard numerous of times, yo, like cuffed up, like bunned up, lubed up, whatever you want to call it, like cuddling, snuggling, all that, Netflix and chilling. You will make a great wife. You just can't be my girlfriend.
Yeah, what the hell does that mean, Brian? Because
I have no idea. That's some new shit right there.
And no, the thing is, I heard that from more than 3 people that I dated. So, and it would baffle me. And it would also be at that moment I knew, yep, I'm wasting my time. But because it wasn't the fact that I wasn't, marriage was always a goal of mine. Not saying that they needed to marry me right then and there, because I still wasn't ready. Even when I got married, I still wasn't ready. I was more prepared, but I wasn't ready, if that makes sense. So it was just baffling, and these are the same people who would be like, or, oh yeah, that's wifey right there, they could see a future with a person and this, that, and the other. But that step that come before that, I don't think I can do it. Which to me ultimately meant, yeah, I'm not finished running the streets. I'm not finished playing my games.
Sure. Yeah.
And it could be taken as the infamous, it's not you, it's me. Sure. I need more time to grow. Like, you can look at all of that stuff and great. But when you hear repeatedly that does something else to you, it's like, yeah, well, we'll talk about that another time. But I think to that point, when you hear songs talk about romanticizing being a wife, so will you be my wife? That I hate that song.
I hate it too.
Hate that song.
I hate it too.
With a passion. When you hear things like that, or the Let's Get Married, or anything.
First of all, I just want to pause and say Let's Get Married is a terrible song. Like, no, it's a horrendous song. And
no, we ain't getting no younger. So
I wanted people to stop playing that. I wanted people to stop playing that at their wedding like it was a good song. Ladies, and gentlemen, ladies, the lyrics are literally, meet me at the altar in your white dress. We ain't getting no younger. We might as well do this. That's not romantic. That's someone literally telling you, we ain't getting no younger. We might as well. That's some stuff. Yo, they don't got this on Netflix anymore, but they got this other ragtag version. We ain't doing shit tonight. We might as well watch,
what?
Grease 8, because whatever. We might as well watch Rocky 17, because we ain't ain't shit else on. That's not romantic. I'm sorry. That's a nerve. I hated that song when that song came out, and I was in middle school. I was in middle school. Like, if y'all adults don't stop playing this at your weddings, clown.
I was a senior in high school.
When you hear that, and then you hear, or you would hear the other side of it. When you hear the quote unquote thugs, gangsters, instead of calling the girls, they bottom these. They start calling them, oh yeah, that's wifey. That's my main one. Meaning, oh, that's the one who's gonna hold me down. Okay, I got a lot of problems with this word wifey then. I really do. What does wifey look like to you? And as you get older, because said it, like, it looks different.
It does.
To each man. But I feel like there has to be some streamline of something. Like,
we gotta make a universal definition
of a wife. Like, what is that? And I'm sorry to put all the pressure on you as one guy.
Oh, no pressure, because I don't got the answer. Just like the question of what women want, which is, how long do you got?
I'm a woman, I'm an answer it. Nigga,
I know what I want.
But
I just want you to know what I want without me telling you what I
Right.
want, but I know what I want.
I mean, and to your point that y'all mentioned as far as regards to, you know, you were talking about the guys that you mess with, you know, the guys that were like Netflix and chilling and talk about some, oh, you make a great wife, but you can't be my girlfriend. I've had that too. I've, you know, in my late 20s, even up to my early 30s, I had women. As a matter of fact, there was a woman, she probably a couple of years from I met my wife, that told me I will make an amazing husband one day. And I'm just sitting there like, okay. Now I'm puzzled by this, right? Because I'd shown her that I was interested, but she wasn't interested in me like I was interested in her. So I was just like, all right, cool. You know, something she needed something else, whatever that was. And I think eventually when that whole thing ended, I made peace with it and was just like, all right, well, you know, whatever it is that she needs, I ain't got it. And if I don't have it, then I'm not going to get it. So she gonna go on and be whoever she is that she wants to be. When guys do and say things like that, yes, they are not ready. And for y'all know, guys, it takes us a little bit longer to get ready in that respect than it takes y'all to get ready in that respect. But I will say this, to your point in regards to we talking about what a universal definition of a wifey is, that also morphs from when you first start manhood to where you get to the point where I'm at now. Because I would have given you an answer when I was 22 and I just graduated from college. I'd have given you another answer when I was approaching 30, sort of like mid-career. I'd have given you another answer at 35. And then I would have given you another one a couple of, 3 years ago. So it morphs and it changes based on how fast or how slow you mature and what life teaches you in regards to your interactions with women. Now, if you hang around the same type all the time, regardless of what stage of life that you are in, you won't learn anything. So, and y'all know this, y'all will run into some guys that, you know, you've known them probably since maybe you were teenagers or maybe when y'all were young adults, and y'all have known them now for maybe a good, let's say 15 to 20 years now. And he the same type of dude. He has a type of way, has a sort of personality. He's messing with the same type of women. No matter what happens or how old he gets, he continues to pull the same type. And it continues to end the same way. The same exact way. There are women out there that do that too.
Oh, yeah.
Same type of guy. You know, the same type of guy. And they don't experience anything because they don't learn anything from those experiences. I used to go after certain type of women when I was younger. And then my life experiences told me that something needed to change because I was like, all right, well, this isn't working out. And when I surrounded myself with better people, I eventually was introduced to better people. And then what started, as I said, with my opinion of what quote unquote wifey material looked like changed as I matured. I started looking back on that previous iteration of myself and being like, damn, what the hell was I thinking?
That's honesty. Don't look, you know, I can relate.
Like, what the hell was I thinking? And to be honest, we also people talk a lot about this now, how we're getting married later now. You know, our parents' generation were probably getting married when they were in their early 20s, maybe mid 20s. Our grandparents' generation were getting married when they were damn near
17, 18.
Early adults, 17, 18 years old, and were having families, and they would have full families at like age 26. Like they have 3 kids, 4 kids by the time they was age 26. And then we look at their pictures and they was 38 and they was bald and looked like they was 50 years old because them kids was wearing they ran them out. But now we're getting married later, and it's a shift in both men and women. We have also gone through a generation of people that we have seen what the negative effects are of getting married so young are, especially when you haven't experienced life, especially when you haven't really met anyone. You know, it's like the age-old story. You got boy and girl grow up, go to middle school together, go to high school together. They sweethearts through high school. They go away to college. They don't go to the same college with each other. They don't even make it through that first year. Why? Because they experience different things. You run into new people. So eventually you grow past that, whatever it is that you do. I think with us as men and women, we're now learning. It's like, okay, I've been through and seen what happened. My parents getting married when they was 20 something years old. And now, you know, either one, they not together no more. Two, they barely even, I don't even think my parents love each other no more. Like, you don't know how many times I've heard people say that, like in our age group, like, yo, I don't think my parents even, they together, but you know, it ain't no, like, you know, oh, I love you type stuff. Like, seriously, a lot of people's parents are like that now.
No,
So,
I agree.
Mhm.
My parents, like my parents literally just got married almost a year ago.
A year ago, yeah.
And when my mom first told me, she was like, yeah, we're getting married. First of all, when she told me she was getting married, the first question I asked was, to who? Like, who you married? Because my mom, you know, my mom and dad have been in this whatever definition of together is for all of my life. So when you pop up out the blue saying, you know, oh, I'm getting married, what? And then when she told me to who, my brain was like, does not compute. Should I be happy? Do I care? But you care. But why is this happening? It was so many thoughts behind it because that was something I never ever
that you thought, right? Yeah, but
yeah. So to that point, yes, I completely understand it, but I also think that had an adverse effect on me too.
Sure,
but also the other part of that, though, I think is what's unfortunate, and I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna move forward. What's unfortunate though is so many people are getting married younger, but you're still starting getting married older and later, but you're still starting families young still. Yeah. Like that's my issue. Yeah. That's my issue. Like that's my as someone who went through this life trying to do this, and the first comes love, then comes marriage, then come a baby. They do the whole family thing. The issue, you still gonna have parents who are like, oh, kids who are like, oh, my parents don't talk. But instead of you having witnessed the divorce or what have you, they were just never together. Yeah. And your stepmom was there, or your stepdad was there, or whomever else was there. Like, I guess that's the other side is I want us to stop building families in your 20s, and then you're not going to commit to a man or a woman and build this marriage until you in your 30s. Like, because you could have built that family with this person. I understand everybody want to have a good time, and I understand, but and there was a time when it was one kid. Like, everybody had the one kid. Like, I messed up this one time, I learned my lesson. And I'm good. But I remember when I hit like 23, 25, I kept running into these dudes who were like, instead of oh, I got a kid, it was, oh, I got two. Didn't learn the first time? Like, what? And I'd say this to the dude I'm with right now, he's not exempt. If anybody knows a boyfriend with 5 kids, 3 baby mamas, he's not exempt from hearing what I had to say. It doesn't change. I love you. But that doesn't the same thing. Yeah, but that doesn't change the fact that I look at you like, yo, you built 3 families out here. So where do I fit in? Period. Where do I fit in? And we've had this whole conversation, in full disclosure, until and unless if ever we have children, I will still always feel like I'm on the outside. And even if we have kids, I'm still gonna feel like, well, me and my kids over here. I mean, that's me. That's me. That's me.
Well, I mean, that's not just you.
I'm saying that that's me, and that's me personally. I'm not speaking for anybody else but me. That's what I'm saying. That's me, y'all. I'm not saying I'm alone in this, because I know I'm not. But I'm saying that if you mad, oh well, that's me in my opinion, in my life experiences. To the point about, you know, this definition of wifey evolving, I think, but to your point, you matured. You took a look internally and said, I gotta still dealing with these chicks because something ain't right, and maybe I need to change. And I want to commend that, because I see so many dudes, so many angry, bitter Black men specifically on all of these social medias, just going in on women all day, every day, like they getting paid for it. Because y'all are mad, bitter, and hurt. The same thing that you complain about Black women being is what you are portraying. Because you haven't looked internally the same way. Yes, women, there are a lot of women out here that have not looked internally, and they still with the same dude over and over and over and over again. You're doing the same thing. And and Michelle and I had this conversation not too long ago, like, stop trying to make the person you want the person you want.
Yes.
If you look at this chick and you like, yo, I want her because she's thick.
Right.
But man, she's so independent and she drive this car and she got a 6-figure salary and I'm just over here, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But don't shame her and try to get her to feel bad about herself and insecure about herself. So now she wants you or she needs you. And she that person either step up or step to the side. But like, and the same could be said for women. I'm not saying it can't, but this is one of the guys. So we talking about the guys today.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that it takes a level of maturity to say, you know what, I'm gonna do something different. And like you say, you elevate your circle, you elevate your friends, because the same way that all of these, that there are chicks out here talking about ninjas ain't ish, it's a lot of dudes out here saying witches ain't ish as well. So, but somehow that I don't know. Well, but again, then in that case, who are you attract? Not only who are you attracting, who are you attracted to?
Yeah. And that has a big part of it to do as well. And I think when it comes down to wifey, all right, it's physically, like I said, you like what you like. I mean, ain't nobody really gonna get past that. I mean, if you like them brown skin and a little thick and you know what I'm saying, whatever, short hair, long hair, whatever, and however you like them, that's fine, because that's what gets you going. That's what you like. But you got to get past all that physical things to really define when you talk about somebody that's wifey material. I said this on an episode where Damo asked me about a year being married. And I said, yo, when you're talking about being with somebody and possibly even starting a relationship with them, and then y'all being serious, like, forget all this other stuff about love. Like, be with somebody who likes you. Like, be with somebody who actually likes you. This is the thing, right? COVID taught a lot of things to a lot of people.
Oh.
And the one thing that it taught to a lot of couples out there, as y'all very well know, we found out that a lot of couples were saying I love you to each other, but as soon as COVID came around, they found out after about 2 or 3 months being cooped up, they ain't like that person very much. Now, cabin fever will do that to you. But in the worst of circumstances, if you're with someone like that, at the bare minimum, you should be able to, one, not only tolerate them, but enjoy being around them, especially if something like that's going to happen where y'all are in the house and y'all can't go out. I mean, so be with somebody that likes you. And what do I mean by that? Like, do y'all like the same type of like movies? Do y'all laugh at the same type of jokes? Like, do y'all get the same type of humor? Is there things that go on that you can look at somebody and they know exactly what the hell it is that you laughing at or what you talking about without you even having to say a word? Y'all in the car, are y'all jamming to the same type of music? Do y'all like the same type of movies? Food, when it comes to that type of stuff, what do y'all like to go out and do stuff and eat? Like, when y'all having conversations, what are the things y'all want to talk about? Like, when y'all are sitting at home, what exactly are you talking about? All these type of things, like all of this. If you're not just discussing, if you love discussing trivial things with somebody, then be with somebody that does that, because that's the only thing you're going to talk about. But however, if your mind needs a little bit more stimulation and you want to discuss more pertinent things in life or society, whether it's religion or spirituality or love or men's and women's roles in society, whatever that topic may be, then find somebody who does that. You know, if you love to read, you should be with somebody who likes to read. If you know somebody that is about making money, that is about financial security and building wealth and doing things as far as investing, you need to be with someone who matches that as well. And eventually that leads,
have the desire to,
or at least have the desire to, and be willing to learn. What that all leads to is that being with somebody whose company that you enjoy. At the bare minimum, be with somebody who likes you. I say that because I had a homeboy of mine who was married for almost 10 years. They had 2 kids. They ran into some troubles in their marriage. And near the end, and matter of fact, shoot, you know who I'm talking about, Siobhan. And near the end, I was just literally sitting there like, God damn, like, they do not like each other. They don't. Like, and it boggled my mind that you could get to that long of marriage, and then at the end, it'd be like, well, Jesus Christ, they don't like each other. How does that happen? I just don't, but it does. And it happens to lots of married couples and people who are in long-term relationships. They find out that they don't like that person. Be with somebody who you like. Not just this whole thing. I love you are words that you can say to anybody. your mother, your father, your siblings, really good friends, your partner, your wife, your husband, but be with somebody who likes you and know what it is that they're about. Like, get a feeling of whatever their character is. Like that's another big thing we talk about when it comes to wifey. That's one thing a lot of guys will not take too seriously into consideration, but they need to. What's the character of the woman you dealing with?
Mm-hmm.
And I do that because
preach it.
Because character has a lot. Man, character is the things what happens when she's not in your presence and when you're not around. What does she do? How does she,
also when the shit hits the fan?
Exactly.
Character and moral values need to match.
Absolutely.
Again, conversations I've had recently, because I know everybody talks about this equally yoked or unequally yoked, and it's beyond just if they're Christian and you're Jewish, if they're Muslim and you're Buddhist. And I say that, and you will learn this real quick if you co-parent, because the values up in this here house and the values up in the other their house or with the other parental unit, not the same on fundamental stuff. Like, I mean, schoolwork is whatever. That's not, yoked, because if something happens to the relationship, especially if y'all have children, y'all need to at least agree on the fundamentals of character within each other and character building for these children. Because if you have one parent who's like, if you have one parent who's like, drugs are a no, we may discuss weed, but drugs are a no. And the other one who's like, this coke ain't gonna hurt you. That you don't need to have kids with this person.
Hold on.
And I go to extremes to make a point.
I get it.
I do. I promise you, I know.
Like, you can have, because for example, being in the last dude I was dealing with, he doesn't drink. We have a wine podcast, guys, so y'all know I do. But I'm not a lush about it. And I still don't believe in like underage drinking under a certain age. Okay. Like 21 ain't my age because it wasn't my mama's age. I was getting liquor before 21. So, but I'm not handing like my 10-year-old vodka. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's gotta be that. And to your point, also, I think when people stop liking each other, it's because I think people don't realize, because we're still human beings, we're still growing as individuals. And the person that you married 10 years ago may not be the person that's good for you.
I'm gonna be honest with you. As a married person, if the person that you married, you've been married for 10 years, if that person is still the same in 10 years, that's a problem.
Unless you're still the same. Like, if y'all are the same together, but if one of you grows, it is a problem. But if y'all were, listen, I'm all I will say is if one person is growing and the other is stagnant, it's going to lead to problems. And sometimes even in long-term relationships, whether you're married, whether it's a friendship, even whatever it is, sometimes when you realize stuff is getting rocky, you really have to go, how do we get here? I've learned to do that in this current relationship because I know it's going to be the last, because I just don't have time to be looking for nobody else. It's I'm going to settle, whatever. But at the same point, I look at like some of my relationships that ended and I wish I had asked the question sooner. How did we get here? Before we get to the point of get out, I can't stand you, I hate you, I don't want to talk to you again. How did we get here? And for me specifically, I say this because 90% of the relationships I was in were with friends. We were friends first. So how do we go from, this is my best friend, it's my homie, we doing it, we out in these streets, we kicking it together, to 3 months later, 2 months later, I can't stand you. Like, how did we get here? And I don't think couples, not all, but I would encourage any couple to really take inventory of their relationship on a regular, like every 6 months, every year, something, before you get to 5 years in and y'all like, if I pushed you out the second floor window, would anybody know?
I would be okay.
If my car happened to hit you backing into the driveway.
Look, and I will, to piggyback on that, I will also put this caveat in. That does not mean that when you're in a relationship that you still won't have those thoughts and you will still love, care, and grow. You don't necessarily want to leave that person, but you can still have those thoughts.
True.
I'm telling you now.
what Chris Rock said. He said, "You ain't never looked at a bottle of rat poison and looked at your woman and your man and said, you know what?
All I can think about is Kanye. All I can think about is Kanye was, I thought about killing you today.
No, Lord.
I seriously contemplated premeditated murder. Like,
well, see, I don't think about murder, but I definitely have had thoughts. You know, I could leave.
Mm.
You know, that and not that I want to, not that that's where I'm going. Not, and that may not be your train, like whoever I'm talking to, whoever's listening, train of thought. But what I'm saying is, if you have the thought, don't run from the thought, or don't deny the thought. Look at it and address it and find out why you're having the thought. And if you know why you're having the thought and it's legit, like, oh, I literally can't and will not do this anymore, then take the necessary steps. But if you have the thought and you really evaluate, like she said, take that self-inventory, take that relationship inventory, and you go, okay, well, this is how we got here. If you can answer that question, then it can be fixed if you want to. But relationships, like we said, they're work. Don't let anybody say
they are definitely
they are work. They are hard work. Sometimes they may feel like they are not rewarding. But
yes.
But the push through, and when the work is done, it'll show. And
it should be worth it if that's the person.
And it will be worth it if you really push through and the work is done. And we say all that to circle back to the illusion, and that's what I like to call it, of wifey material. Because let's say wifey material to someone who may have not had a mother in their life may look different, either in a positive or negative way or neutral way, than a person who grew up in a nuclear home.
Right.
Wifey material may look different to the gangster.
Right.
Yep.
Than the kingpin. They may look different. You know, wifey material may look different to a foster child than a child who was in foster care who was later adopted. So, and we're saying life experiences, like he said, can shift that, and growth will shift that, and it's okay. But
what you need to notice, this is what I will say, and now this is my final thought, and because I want to see what you got to say. What I would say to anybody that's going to men folk, hello, as a woman, and ladies too, but we talking to y'all. First of all, I hate the term wifey, so we just gonna say wife. A wife, marriage, this I do know because I've seen it. I've seen it through divorce. I've seen it go all the way to the grave. I've seen it. Is a partnership above all else. And I would really encourage men and women, but we talking to y'all. I would really encourage men to make sure that this woman you are about to join this partnership with is a real partner and someone you can really see as a partner. Because when you get laid off, when she gets laid off, when the company downsizes, when the pandemic hits and both of y'all get fired, or one of y'all get fired, or y'all happen to both luck out, nobody gets fired. When the kids getting on your nerves, if you don't have kids, when you're getting on each other's nerves, when the in-laws get on your nerves, when life happens,
when life be lifing,
sickness, when that thing, death do us part, is a true wife. Because let me tell you, sickness and health, it is serious. When the boobies ain't boobieing, when her booty ain't bootieing, when his dang-a-lang ain't slang-a-langing no more, y'all, or like it used to, y'all still have to have a partnership, because y'all have built, that's the fact, you are building a life with someone. Yeah. Whatever that happens to look like, because everybody's partnership is going to be different. And I know, like, even from a business standpoint, we've had people on here to tell us that our business model is not the average. That's great, I guess, but it comes with its own challenges. Whether you go in business by yourself or business with someone else, a partnership, be it business, be it platonic, be it romantic, we're ever evolving people, and it's a partnership. Like it's a partnership. This whole, whether you want to take it to the Bible with the help meet, or you just want to do the modern day, whatever your partnership happens to be, it's a partnership.
Yeah, absolutely. So because as we wrap this up, what with wifey material being a wife being the topic, what are 3 things that you would suggest that anyone who is truly considering entering into a partnership or a marriage, whatever you want to call it, with someone, as far as like being a wife? What are 3 things that you would say or suggest to them that you actually look for?
Okay, well, beyond just the normal things we talk about, like, love, respect, dedication, I would have to say pick a woman who is emotionally mature and available. That's number 1.
We just had that talk, y'all. If y'all missed it with Miss Crystal Brooks, click on that.
I'm gonna repeat that again. Pick a woman who is emotionally mature and available. Okay. This is very important. It is very important. It's very important. I want to say that again. Okay.
Look, I'm gonna stay.
I'm gonna say this.
I'm gonna stay here for a minute. I don't think y'all heard me in the back.
Right. Number 2. Pick a woman who is unyielding but understanding. Okay. What do I mean by that? I mean this. Pick someone who is not going to settle for your bullshit, but also pick someone who knows that they know when enough is enough. And is the difference between a kick in the ass and a rubble in the back. Get
you a woman that can do both at the same time.
Right. It's a fine line that not many women know how to walk. Some know how to do one or the other, or some of them don't know how to do either. So, there it is. And then my last one would have to be pick someone who's reliable. And what I mean by reliable is not just the person that is always there. Pick a person that is going to be that person on day 1 until the day when both of your souls depart this earth. Reliable. Not unpredictability, because sometimes you get that where you don't know how they're going to be on Tuesday and they be somebody different on Saturday, and then in the beginning of the month they one person, and then the end of the month they somebody else, or in the summertime they one way, and in the fall they this other way, or by year 10 of the marriage they one way, or year 15 they changed pick somebody that's reliable. And I'm not just talking about them being there, because being there is important too. Because I remember watching this video. I don't remember what song it was. It was a time lapse of a man and a woman when they got married, moving into an apartment. And then it showed them as they was getting older. And the last parts of the video were the husband helping the wife get up and go to the bathroom at night because she's sick. She's on her last days, like this is it. Like those are the type of things you talk about. Like those are the times in marriage that when that person is going to be there, when those vows come into play, that through, as y'all said, through sickness and health, till death do us part. Someone that's going to be there, but then someone who is also going to be the person that they were when you knew them. And I mean, people are going to obviously evolve and change. I mean, nobody is completely, but just at your core, you're the same person.
Right.
Because when we see a lot of people break up, people change. And when they change and completely flip, that's when it's just like, oh, no, I don't even know you anymore. Who is this person that I married? This is not the person that I married. This is somebody different. So, yeah, those 3 things. Someone is emotional. Yeah.
I just have one last question. So I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So my question is real quick, how would you tell men to position themselves to find this wife material, to have these three things that you listed, right? Because let's be serious. If you're looking for these three things in the strip club, you could be in the wrong place.
Right.
If you are looking for these three things on sugarbabies.com, you could be
right
in the wrong place. So don't be mad.
Yeah. I mean, well, one, I think for the intangibles, you have to be all those things you're looking for. So if we talk about those three things, you need to be all three of those things too. You just can't expect somebody to have that and then take your broken down self and thinking that that's going to be good enough. It's not. You have to be all of those. You have to be those things yourself. As far as like you talking about like where you need to be around, I mean, honestly, it's like surrounding yourself around the type of people that give you the better chance of meeting someone often than not. Like you said, the strip club is not where you're probably going to find someone like that. Sugarbabies.com and BeMyDaddy.com is not going to be a place where you meet somebody like that. You have to surround yourself and if that means being in different and getting yourself into different circles of people so that you find yourself around the type of women that you're looking for, then that's what you got to do. But if you're going to make that leap, though, you got to make sure that you're ready and available as well. Because the one thing I will say is that when you do find a woman like that, and if she even takes the slightest bit of a liking to you, depending on how far along you are in life, she's going to be ready to go. So, ain't no really like, let's get this warmed up. Oh, let me work on myself a little bit while we kind of dating and playing the player. It's like, if you there and the type of women with those type of women that you deal with, you got to be ready. You have to be ready, and you can't really play any games with it. You got to be ready to go because they're going to be ready to go. So that's it. Yeah. It's positioning yourself around the people that are going to get you around that crowd. What do they do for a living? It's not just any specific type of industry. It could be a number of different things, but when you vibe around people, the type of folks that you're dealing with, you can tell when you're around company.
Around foolishness and
yes, you can tell. Mm-hmm. You can tell when you're around foolishness.
And if you can't, time will definitely tell you.
Yeah. If you can't, you are not ready. You are not in a position to be anybody's wife or husband.
Exactly.
You cannot discern foolishness.
Exactly. So when you're around stuff and it's not foolishness and the people there are chill but about their business, then you might be in the right place. You might be headed in the right direction. So
right. And ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank our wonderful friend, Mr. B. Cox, for joining us today for this lovely conversation that can clearly go on for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours just between the three of us. Mm-hmm. There's nothing else we'd like to talk.
We do.
Hence the podcast. Podcasts and because case. But so overall, what we're saying, what I think Mr. B. Cox on this whining with question mark.
I just want you to do the regular G. I just want you to do the sign language G. I know this is a little or a lot. I get that, but this is a G.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah, because the Sibian hand is not working for me. It's not working.
Whining with the guys. Whining with the guys. Which say wifey material is subjective. Wifey material is where you are, with a positive look toward the future. Mm-hmm. Wifey material is growth. Wifey material is
a partnership,
examination, and a partnership.
Mm-hmm.
So take all those things. When you start thinking about wifey material, getting in a partnership, getting into a relationship, getting into a marriage, taking things to the next level, whatever that may look like for you, and take those things into consideration. Mm-hmm. Especially those 3 points that being reliable, emotional maturity, and what was the other one?
Being unyielding but understanding.
Yes, especially understand. Because even though you might not agree, to simply understand, to comprehend, and that ability to connect, to have that connection will carry you through things. So, and on that note, we will say cheers to that. So before we get out of here, y'all know I'm loud. Before we get out of here, Sissy, let me know what your rating is for your popping grapes experience.
So this 2016 Albariño by Martin Codax, it says, Albariño is known as the wine of the sea, both because of the vineyard's proximity to the nearby Atlantic Ocean and the wine's exquisite compatibility with the local seafood. I could see that. Martin Codax Albariño is a crisp, elegant wine with notes of pear, passion fruit, and apple. Is a bright, refreshing example of this distinctive grape. I really am curious to see if I liked it before. I do actually enjoy this. You do feel the buzz. You feel 13% alcohol, so you feel this.
Nice.
Right. It would be very good. I actually did like this. It had a weird aftertaste to it. To me, I think that was the crispness. And I think it was the pear. I don't really care for pear too much. Like, I like the fruit, but like pear flavored or pear taste stuff doesn't really do it for me. I didn't really taste the passion fruit. The apple was very subtle. So if it's an apple, it's like a green apple because they tend to be, that it's not like the red you would think about. So green apple. But it was good. I would give it a 3. It was okay. Yeah, this would be a good gift. Like if you meet somebody and you wanted to give them a white, but you don't really know what it is. It doesn't have anything distinctive to me too hard. Like it's a subtle, crisp, medium bodied white. It's a good intro to a wine. If you're trying to, if somebody's just gotten off the thought juice and they've been off the thought for like 6 months, right? And you trying to get them away from like the bubble sparkle, this will be a good flat to start. Especially if you're gonna do it with food. I think that's the issue. I think if I had seafood with this, it would be a 3.5. I couldn't give this higher than like a 3.75, I don't think, but a 3.5 would be the highest. But just on its own, it's a nice little crisp, but it does need food.
Okay. So for my Pinot Gris, it's 2018. Growing and making wine is our life and our pleasure, and has led to an abiding optimism of what? Extends, girl, my tongue. Beyond the culture of wine to our community and the world at large. Okay, now I'm confused.
So this is about the brand, not really the wine.
Right, but this also says landmark wines are the finest representations of vintage wines, and this is not landmark. Exactly. That's why I said, okay. It doesn't say what's in this whatsoever. Now that I am finished reading the back, is it mention it on the front? No.
Okay, well, we back to your regular bottles where you don't have any.
Period. Like I got excited because they got like words at the bottom. They got all this stuff on the back. I was like, oh, I'm gonna read this. And
about the vineyard and the company, right?
It says nothing. Okay, so yep, and it's only 11% alcohol, which is probably why I don't really feel buzz. Now about the wine. To me, this is a great example of a house wine in a restaurant. A house Pinot Gris in a restaurant. It is missing something. I don't know what I taste. I mean, like, you know how you can taste like some type of.
That's not good at all.
I don't know what I taste. This is not a Pinot Gris that I would recommend. This is going to be a 1 for me.
Wow. That's not good. I'm not even a regular wine drinker, and I know that you don't taste anything.
It has no distinctive taste whatsoever.
It's not crisp. It's nothing, just flat.
It's not crisp.
Is it medium body, light body? I mean, give us something.
It's A body. I don't know.
Oh God, that's not good.
So I feel like it's a light. I feel like it may be a light to medium body, and more so light than medium. That's all I got. I'll be honest. I was hoping to read something honestly, and then be like, okay, did I taste that? Because sometimes, especially for someone who, if you watch the vlog, I can't smell too well. It has to be very distinct. So I figure my taste buds resemble my other senses. My sense of taste resembles my sense of smell. It's not all that great. Like once you tell me, I can go, okay, yay, nay, but that's also because I'm allergic to fresh fruit, so don't judge me. But yeah, this gave me nothing.
Okay.
Wow.
So it's a 1. It probably should be a 0.5, but I'm feeling generous today because I'm hungry.
That sucks. I'm trying to see if I like the other Albariño, because I really don't remember what it was. I just remember who it was by.
Yeah, I got nothing else. So ladies and gentlemen, on that note, this brings us to another wonderful conclusion of a little something to learn about with both of your hostesses, Ty and Michelle.
And Siobhan Camille. And our guest Cox.
And we want to thank our guest, Mr. B. Cox. We will be sure to have all of his links below in the description box. So if you're interested in any of his content, just click the link below. Like, share, subscribe to both channels.
Please.
Be sure to join us each and every Wednesday for more laughs, more fun, and of course more wine. Hopefully good wine. Please understand that these opinions are ours and ours alone. If you love this brand, comment below and let us know why you love it. If you tried this brand and you're not a fan, let us know that too. Give us a quick thumbs up, subscribe, like, share. Be sure to join us for our live wine tasting on the last Saturday of the month at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you need us in the meantime, just hit us on Instagram at a little something, wine about. And as always,
there's nothing wrong with a little wine. Or a lot.
Hey.
Bye guys. Thank you for whining with us on this episode of A Little Something to Wine About. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to join us live the last Saturday of every month on YouTube or Instagram. And we'll see you next Wednesday for more fun, more laughs, and of course, more wine.